You know, this is normally the part where I say, hey, what's up, Havenites? Welcome to another episode of the Pool List. But right as I started this, the cat just went insane. Probably need to start doing cat videos because God knows we have enough material about that crap around this house. So, let's start over. What's up, Havenites? Hope y'all having a good week again. Welcome to another episode of the Pool List. I think we're on episode 12, maybe? 13? Not really sure. I guess I'll check it when I number it. So, like I said, I hope everybody's having a good week. I hope y'all read a lot of good books, not just comic books, just reading, period. Hope y'all spending a lot of good time with family and friends. Getting ready to go into the weekend here. I hope you have a good and safe weekend. Why don't we get started? Store folio. It was a pretty good week. The store folio is packed, but also some of it has to do with that oversized Moon Knight number 25, which we'll get into that here in just a minute. Oh, let's see if we can get all these books out of here. Alright, let's just start out from the very top in no particular order. We have Moon Knight, City of the Dead, issue number 1. I was so shocked at how good this issue was. Oh, in case anybody's curious, this is the variant cover. I can't remember who actually did it. But I was so shocked at how good this was. I was not expecting it to be this good. Basically, the gist of the story is Moon Knight is protecting a child who's lost his parents and everything. He's about to be sacrificed. I believe they call themselves like the Sons of Anubis, the Rebels of Anubis, something of Anubis of the Dead. Or I can't remember. But they're running around with like Anubis masks on. You already know pretty much from the get-go it is some type of a ritual that they're trying to sacrifice the child. Moon Knight runs him off and everything, but the child gets hurt. He takes the child to Harvest Moon. I was glad to see Harvest Moon. Hunter's Moon. I was glad to see Hunter's Moon in it. I think Hunter's Moon is a great character. I wouldn't mind seeing Hunter's Moon get his own book. I think the other Fist of Khonshu, or Khonshu, how you want to say it. I thought that was just really good. But basically, the boy's body is alive, but his soul is departed. And Moon Knight has decided that he is going to go to the City of the Dead. He's basically spiritually. I mean, that's what it literally comes down to. He's left his body. He's gone to the City of the Dead, and he is trying to find the boy's soul to bring him back. He runs into old enemies. He runs into the ones that were originally trying to sacrifice the child. That ends up with a big fight. This was such a good read, which does... I should have actually started with Moon Knight number 25. I'll get back to this one here in a second. But Moon Knight, issue number 25. So this is definitely an oversized issue. I mean, it's $9.99, but it's the size of a small trade paperback. It was a great issue. We're kind of getting different phases of Moon Knight's career. And we are leading up to Black Spectre, which we do get Black Spectre in this, I believe the third iteration of Black Spectre. But we kind of get like some flashback stuff of Moon Knight's career when he was actually, the Karnak Cowboys is how they called themselves, when he was a mercenary before he met Raoul Bushman, before he became Moon Knight, when he was still just a mercenary, just a killer for hire. This was a really good issue leading into the Black Spectre stuff. There are traps set for Moon Knight along the way. We kind of get some flashbacks with modern stuff. Moon Knight's fighting his way to Black Spectre because y'all know how our boy Mark is. He's not running from a fight. He decides to go after Black Spectre before Black Spectre can come after him, which was kind of part of the trap. Zodiac is in here. I think Zodiac is probably one of the best villains that Moon Knight actually has going. I love the way that he was done. But the reason why I want to come back to this is it's really weird. We have Jed MacKay writing here, and I cannot think of the guy's name that wrote this one. I'm about to find out for y'all right quick. But these books, two different authors, and they really and truly go hand in hand. My apologies. The writer on this one is David Pepose. But the way that these two books are written, the way the story is, it's almost like City of the Dead could be considered a side quest for you gamers out there. It's almost like a small, brief little interlude. It can fit right in anywhere where Moon Knight's going right now. These are two fantastic reads. If you're wanting to jump on Moon, I know we've got a lot of stuff coming down the pike from Moon Knight, and a lot of people believe that around issue 28 we will start dealing with the death of Moon Knight. I don't know how that's going to go just yet. Only Marvel knows that one. But both of these, absolutely phenomenal reads. I know I've got a couple of guys that I talk with about books a lot, and I think I pretty much got them talked into picking this one up. I would definitely say that out of everything that I've read, Moon Knight City of the Dead, if I truly did a pick of the week, would be my pick of the week. It was just that good. Next up on the list, we have Alien issue 4. I'm going to tell you what, the mother, she's an idiot. That's just all there is to it. She literally injected herself with part of the, I don't know, the DNA, a sample or whatever of one of the xenomorphs, trying to sneak it out, and we all know what happens there. Pretty much the daughter is on her own now. The mother's fiance, he does make a comeback in it. Oh boy, look, I'm not trying to be funny. People that are reading this know exactly what I'm talking about. Our main character, he really and truly, our main hero, so to speak, he only has one arm. Well, let me tell you what, you put a hammer in that other arm and he's doing some serious damage to the xenomorphs. This was another great issue. I believe it's going to be 6 issues maybe. There are a couple other people in here that they're kind of, they're not main characters, but they're really and truly, I guess there's some type of like co-star or supporting actor, or it would be an actor in this situation, but I can't think of his name. His face is all bandaged up. I want to see more of his story. Some really good stories in here. We still don't know why all the xenomorphs are on the ice planet or why they're stuck there. I just don't think we're going to figure that out at this point. Shalvey, guys, I'm a redneck from Alabama. Sorry. He's done a really good job writing the alien, this alien story. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So for the alien fan out there, and if you're not an alien fan and you want to pick these books up, they're literally, Marvel is doing this series like Mad Cave or AWA does. We're getting like 4 to 6 issues. That completes technically 6 issues, so we can get a true trade out of it. But we'll get 6 issues. It will complete that story arc, and then we get another 6 issues a month or 2 down the road. They'll pick back up, and it'll be a different story. Same xenomorph, well, technically, same xenomorphs, just different people that they're going after in it. These have been a whole lot of fun. Next up, we have Wildcats, issue number 9. Basically, we know what Cole is going to do in this issue. He's basically he's going to have to kill Voodoo. That's all there is to it. He's got to kill her because they're thinking that and this is Voodoo's plan, thinking that the explosion that's going to happen or the great power release that's going to happen will send him back to his time. Halliday is definitely a Court of Owls. He's definitely moving against the Wildcats. They're doing everything they can. I love the fact that we now have Deathblow's psyche, his essence, soul, his mind, whatever, is inhabiting the body of Spartan. Spartan's an android. Spoiler alert for those of you who haven't read a comic book since the 90s. This has been another fun read. I think we're getting ready to wrap it up with issue 10. Cole, basically, he's going to make his way home. He's going to handle his business. As you can tell, yes, we do have Grifter kissing Zealot on it. In the other multiverse planet, they were married. Some things happen, and his counterpart from that universe actually ends up getting killed. So it's getting kind of convoluted now. But it was, once again, really good read. I am looking forward to the way they wrap this up, and then I think that maybe they would do like an oversized trade. For any Wildcats fan out there, this is exactly what we're wanting out of Wildcats. I mean, it felt like a Wildcats book. It was a good, solid story. It was action-packed. It's a Grifter doing what Grifter does, Zealot doing what Zealot does. I still recommend it. There's still time. I mean, these, I think they're still worth cover price. You can pick them up, or you can probably wait another month or two and get the trade. If you're a Wildcats fan, I think this is a must read. There's been a couple of really good cameos in it, and that's about that. I say that's about that. It's been a really good book. You know, I keep pushing this next book off because I read it. I know I read it, but I don't really remember what was going. Oh, never mind. Now I remember what was going on in it because it had a really awesome freaking moment in it. Dawn of DC, Night Terrors, issue number 1. So, Dead Man's going after everybody. He's trying to piece this thing together. He's going to end up going after Insomnia. They're going to have it out. But Dead Man decides to go enlist some help. I did not see it coming. We have Zombie Sandman. And that was awesome at the end of it. Art is looking great. I think it's still a little bit too early. I know these are only going to be about 2, maybe 3 issues each. It's going to be a quick deal. It'll be over with by, I believe, September. Maybe or late September. Honestly, once again, I thought it was fun. It's just one of those that I think you can pick these up anywhere in the series. You don't have to be reading all of Night Terrors to get the gist of it, because you know there is a Night Terrors for all the different characters and everything. It was just another fun read. I've definitely enjoyed the Night Terrors. If you're in, I like seeing this horror side of Williamson. It's horror, but at the same time, it's more like horror fantasy. If that makes sense to y'all. Being a horror buff, that does make sense to me. So, Zombie Sandman, could not go wrong with that. And now, I'm not talking about Sandman from the Vertigo universe or the TV show. I'm talking about, you know, not Neil Gaiman's Sandman. I'm talking about the Sandman that we had when we were kids. Trench coat, hat, gas mask, that Sandman. In fact, I believe it was that Sandman way back before even any of us was born. I don't know a ton about that character, but it's a really good character. I do hoping that since we have Dead Man and Sandman teaming up, we will get maybe the Question in there. Hint, hint. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know. Next up, and this would be a sleeper pick of the week if I did that. That is The Hunger and the Dusk, issue 1 by IDW. I picked this up on a recommendation from Josh. It ended up being a really good book. It's not what I thought it was going to be. Basically, we have a contingent of humans is meeting a contingent of orcs. They're trying to broker a peace deal because there is another big bad on the horizon. I believe it was the Vangol or something like that. And neither orc nor humankind stands a chance against them. Well, what the orcs are going to do is the leader of this one particular orc tribe is actually sending his sister with the humans as like an envoy, like basically like a political envoy. So she's also a healer. Or the orc has actually requested a very particular human from a group called the Last Men. And the reason why he chose this guy was he had actually faced him on the battlefield before, and the guy refused to run away without saving his people, without saving the people that was in his group, even though he was facing certain death. And his commitment to his men and trying to get his men out of there really impressed this orc. Naturally, when they meet, it does go south pretty quick, but it's not because they're about to get into it. It's because the Vangol actually show up. Probably saying that wrong. It's kind of like D&D maybe, a little bit, not a lot. Definitely, we say orcs, and a lot of people now, when they think orcs, they automatically think Lord of the Rings and all that. That's not this. It's not what these are. As you can tell, we've got the orcs up in there with the pointy ears. I would definitely give this a try. Don't sleep on this one. I was really surprised, and everybody that I talked to that read it, the exact same thing. We were shocked at how good it was. I don't think any of us were expecting this. Not that there's anything wrong with what IDW does or the writer or any of that. It's just not what we were expecting, and it was a pleasant surprise at how much I enjoyed this book. That's The Hunger and the Dusk, issue number 1. So the next two, it looks like we're finishing. We'll go ahead and do the next IDW book. So I talked about this book a few months ago, not this particular book, but how I picked up the Rocketeer one shot. I really enjoyed the Rocketeer one shot. I enjoyed just that, the three stories that were in it. I was never a big Rocketeer fan. I liked the movie that came out in the, I think it was like the early to mid 90s, but never anything beyond that. I picked up the one shot on the suggestion of Tom Price up at the shop, who does lines on a page on Sunday nights. Connect the dots, people. So I picked that one up. I really enjoyed it, and I decided that, hey, there's this Rocketeer. The Den of Thieves is coming out, issue number 1. I thought I would pick that up, and if you just saw everything blink, it's because we got a massive storm going on, and our power just went out and then come back on. So I'm going to try to wrap this up fairly quick, just in case I lose power again. Phone should be good, because that's what I'm recording this on. But Rocketeer Den of Thieves number 1. Basically what it comes down to is the Nazis are trying to perfect the Rocketeer's pack. They go and they end up kidnapping his engineer, the guy that helps him work on this stuff. Basically, our boy the Rocketeer is going to have to go after him. He does visit Betty, and for those of you that don't know, it is Betty Page. That's just the character. He does go visit her on a movie set that she's working on. It's just fun. It gives you a break from our typical superhero thing. This is a different type of hero. If you need that type of break, I can't believe I'm about to say it because he does fight Nazis, but some good, wholesome, clean fun, I would definitely go with Rocketeer Den of Thieves issue 1. I have no idea how many issues they're going to do, if it's going to be ongoing or a miniseries, but definitely worth checking out, and it's had some great art in it. Next, last but not least, we have Death Dealer issue 14 by Opus Comics. Every single time Death Dealer comes out, it's going to be on this show. Video? I'm going to let y'all decide in the comments down below. Is this just a video? Is it a show? Is it a cereal? Could I franchise it? Ooh, but if it's a cereal, could I eat it? No, I couldn't eat it. I need a little more sugar on it to eat it. Now I want cereal, preferably Fruity Pebbles. Hashtag no endorsement. But Daredevil. Death Dealer, issue number 14. Another really good, solid outing. I love what Iverson has done with these characters. I think that they're really and truly doing Frank Vazetta proud with what they've done. In this issue, Death Dealer has met up with everyone. They've got the child. You do find out that Mess, M-E-S-S is what they call him, is actually not a him. Mess is the dreaming god. And the dreaming god, in order to protect herself, is allowing everyone to see her as a male. Basically, the way that this goes is the dreaming god is always dreaming, and we actually live inside the dreaming god's dreams. A lot of people want to kill the dreaming god so they can bring about oblivion. It's kind of hinted at. I believe they think that it's going to start over, and that's not what they want. But then we do find out that Mess, M-E-S-S, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, is actually short for Messiah. So Death Dealer, there's a reason why there's a connection there, because of the helmet and everything. The old gods, they understand each other like that, but Death Dealer's helmet never could really figure it out. But now he always kept quiet on it. I thought it was really cool that basically one of the sorceresses had to put Death Dealer's helmet to sleep so they could come up with a plan. Just between Death Dealer and the others, because they did not want his helmet knowing the plan. They were basically afraid he was going to ruin it, which I thought was a really cool touch. These have been action-packed, one right after the other. If you want true sword and sorcery, you've got to be reading Death Dealer. I know a lot of people are kind of put off by independent comics for some reason. Guys, I mean, I love my Daredevil comics. I do. I truly love my Daredevil comics. I love my Moon Knight comics. I love what DC's doing. But at the end of the day, nobody's touching the independent comic scene right now. I personally don't view Image Comics as an independent comic. They're independent creators. I love what they're doing. But when I refer to independent comics, I mean companies like Opus, AWA, IDW. I think they're just doing a fantastic job. Don't sleep on these independent companies. This is one of the best stories that I have read throughout all of 2023 so far. We're issue 14. We might as well go say back a little over a year now. One of the best stories I've read for this genre. I do want to throw that out there for this particular genre. And I do mean the sword and sorceries. I would give anything to see Conan written this way. If Conan was written this way, I would be reading Conan also. So that is it for the pull list this week. Like I said, I hope everybody has a good week and a safe week. I hope you have a good weekend. If you like this type of content, please hit the subscribe. We post daily shorts. We have 2 weekly live streams. We have Shop Talk every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central with Josh and myself. We've got Lines on the Page every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central with Tom Price. And I post this video every Friday. I do need a favor from everybody, though. What's a good time to post this video? Y'all tell me. Put it in the comments what time y'all think this video should be released on Fridays. Other than that, we will see y'all next week.